Let's bring you one of our lead stories tonight, coming from the Vice President, Kashim Shettima. He has directed the adoption of technology-driven strategies to combat terrorism, cybercrime, and border security challenges facing Nigeria and the entire African continent. Shettima said while Africa and Nigeria were currently navigating some of the most turbulent times in areas such as security and economy, the challenges required innovative solutions. Speaking in Abuja when he received in audience members of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 17 from the National Institute for Security Studies, Shettima acknowledged the current security and economic challenges in Nigeria. He stated that advancements in artificial intelligence presented significant opportunities for improvement in critical sectors of the economy. To discuss this, we're joined by Director General, International Institute of Professional Security, Tony Ofoyetan. Tony, good to have you on the news. We are all about exploring solutions. What can you tell us about VP's claims, highlighting the successful implementation of security measures by the governor of Enugu State, saying he has effectively curbed the excesses of those exploiting our security vacuum to cause havoc? Is he accurate in his assessment from your vantage point?
Well, the issue of accuracy is a product of the perspective the vice president is seeing it from. But of course, we must not shy away from the fact that the security challenges in Enugu has successfully been reduced drastically. That is a fact because at the time, Enugu was more or less like the xenophobia of all eyes when it comes to the issue of invasion of villages and the like. Then I remember, I'm sure you remember the case of where we overnight about 80 people were killed in the village in Enugu State, even before they could get directive from the IGP then. So for now, I think I would agree with him to the extent that, to some extent, the security challenges there has been curtailed. But that does not mean that it is yet whole. But I think it is good enough that they've been able to at least master the art of curbing the violence there to a large extent. So to that extent, I think I would not deviate from his position.
Okay, I was trying to establish the fact that the difference between knowing and doing, some say, becomes obvious with the vice president's comment, because the reality on the ground is that our security challenges seems unfathomable. Is Nigeria leveraging tech under this administration? If not, then why? When we have a VP that is knowledgeable about the innovation that technology can bring to the fight against insecurity?
Well, what the Vice President, His Excellency, said is not novel as far as security is concerned in this country. Almost all security agencies, they have their IT department, they have their cyber security department. They are also considering the use and the implementation of technology against terrorism. But the challenge is always the funding of it. There are many challenges that are inherent in the issue of the use of technology. One of such is funding. It is good enough that the Vice President has been able to identify the fact that there is necessity for the application of technology in the fight against insurgency in the country. But to what extent have they been able to push, upward in terms of the acquisition of technology and in terms of budgetary allocation to such? Now, that is one aspect of it. Then if you look back...
Tony, I apologize for the network. It happens sometimes. You were speaking on the Vice President's comment. I asked you if the country is leveraging tech under his watchmanship.
For now, I think the application of technology in our security landscape is still very minimal. However, having said so, budgetary allocation is one major challenge. I think which the government should look inward. Now, beyond budgetary allocation is the fact that there are two ways to it. You are either inventing or you are purchasing technology. If you are inventing technology, you are not going to be at the cap and begging of anybody. Now, that means that you do the pace of how you use your technology. But if you are purchasing technology, the first thing to do is to ensure that you master the technology very well through the art of training and understanding how it works and knowing how to maneuver it so that there's no issue of a mistake coordination, and you did not get the coordinate properly. You are now having to fire the IDP camp and all those stuff like that. You must understand the technology inside out before you talk about purchase of technology. Then the terms and conditions that are applicable and attached to the purchase of those terms and those technology must be well articulated and understood by the purchaser. So that it's not like the Tucano jet that you purchase, you have the Tucano jet, but you cannot use it because of the extraneous terms and conditions that are attached to it. So if you ask me, the best thing is, first of all, let's look inward. There are good guys in this country that are technologically advanced, that can develop software and hardware for domestic use. Let the vice president put up a team to that extent, and let's see to what extent they can fund it. And there are a lot of innovations in this country. There are young boys that have been bringing out great innovation to help in terms of anti-kidnapping, in terms of tracking, in terms of even the technology of arms and ammunition and all those stuff like that.
All right, Tony, we are hopeful that the vice president will put action behind his words and do the needful to secure Nigeria. Thank you for speaking with us.